When a person turns and walks away from the presence of God, they become disconnected, many times from their own family. The greatest disconnect in families today is over a spiritual relationship with Jesus Christ. But he also became disconnected from his God. And the Bible says in Genesis chapter 4 and verse 16 that Cain went out from the presence of the Lord. But folks, the good news is that God's plan for redemption remained unchanged. Even though he went out and he killed his own brother Abel. By the way, someone said to me the other day, why Abel? Why was Abel killed? Folks, I think Abel was killed having just been accepted by God because God was giving to us the ultimate demand of the gospel. The demand of the gospel is that if you follow Jesus Christ, you must be willing to give your life for him. Right here at the beginning, Abel was accepted in God's presence and he lost his life. That's exactly what happened with Jesus Christ. The Son of God came to this earth by the grace of God, because of the love of God, and he gave his life. That's the ultimate picture of what God demands of us. This radical gospel, the demand of the gospel. And we've got this picture right here back in the beginning. God calls on all of us to be like Abel, to be willing to lay our lives down, to give our lives for him. And so here we have Cain rejected, disconnected, out of fellowship with his family, lost from the face of God, never able to come into the presence of God, would never receive eternal life with God, would never know the abundant life in God. And Abel lost his life, but God never changed his mind. He raised up Seth. You'll remember down there in verse 25 how that Adam and Eve conceived again. They gave birth to Seth. And here comes the new line of Abel. God demonstrated through the line of Seth, the Sethites, that God was not going to give up on the people for whom Christ died. God was giving to us a picture of his wonderful, wonderful grace. And the birth of Seth was accompanied by a massive recognition that God was exactly who he said he was. And from that moment on, one champion for Christ after another was raised up from within the fabric of this earth, that became men and women of great, deep, and abiding influence. Some weeks ago, I preached a message entitled "The Roaring Lion" on the life of Cain. How the lion got him. How he became disconnected from his family and from his God. And I used my own life, and I shared with all of you how that for so many years, even though I had grown up in such a wonderful home, how that my life was in disarray, how I wandered around Africa aimlessly, looking for meaning and purpose in life. And the roaring lion was biting at my heels and trying to pull me down and drag me down. And a lady came up to me some days later and she said to me, "Pastor, I know exactly why the roaring lion wanted to get you." I said, "Why?" She said, "Because the devil knew exactly just how God was going to use you when you gave your life to him." You see, you can wind the clock all the way back to my own father. Before my father gave his life to Jesus, we can find no record in our family in Australia, in England, in South Africa, in the United States, no record of my family having any relationship, sons and daughters and cousins and aunts and uncles lost worldly people, godless people, people without hope. Many of my extended family today who died without Jesus Christ and went to a Christless eternity. But when my father gave his heart to Jesus and called on the name of the Lord, it all changed.